Coming up on Cedar Valley today, shortage. One Waterloo charity finds its way back into business to help low-income families.
And Worth It, Cedar Valley today looks into the cost behind a college degree for Iowa students.
And we talked to a Wartburg alum who has recently received a national attention on CNN. Hello and welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Jacqueline Schutte.
And I'm Ashley Davis.
Over a week ago, a local charity experienced a supply in goods in high demand.
Cedar Valley Today's Caitlin Harback explains.
Thanks, Ashley. About 60 area organizations refer clients to Eye of the Needle. I followed the story of how this shop kept its doors open.
Patricia King opened up Eye of the Needle in Waterloo over 7 years ago, but a week ago, King thought she wouldn't have enough to keep going. Charity serves between 50 and 100 people on a monthly basis, and while there are a lot of items here now to give back to the community, it isn't always like this. After the Waterloo Cedar Falls Courier published that the shop ran into a shortage of supplies in high demand, donations overflowed the building's space so much King said she lost track.
The first time it got cold, we had all kinds of coats. We even had coats up to 5X. Next thing you know, you got a lot of people coming in and all this stuff clears out. I mean, you could see everything in here because it was just that empty. So we never had an opportunity to accumulate this many.
King works with clients from low-income families she says struggle every day to get by. She served over 2,000 people within the last year.
Okay, thank you.
The shop relies on donations such as coats, blankets, and hygiene products to keep up with the demand. It also receives money grants to help buy other basic essential needs.
There are a lot of people that have moved here from other places, even not just from other states, but even from the other part of the world. And they thought they were going to get a job real easily, but it didn't work out like that. So they get frustrated and they don't know what to do.
But even with those frustrations, King hopes the community members will continue to find it within themselves to help those in need, the same way she has.
I get the joy of hearing someone say, well, you turned my life around and you saved me, because I wouldn't have been able to do this without you.
Reporting for Cedar Valley Today, I'm Caitlin Harback.
Eye of the Needle is located at 522 Mulberry Street in Waterloo, across from Lincoln Park. If you would like more information about donating, you can call King at 319-215-6151. Back to you at the desk.
Safety is a priority when it comes to transporting goods across the country. One Waterloo business has been recognized for their safety records. The Illinois Trucking Association Fleet awarded Warren Transport the Outstanding Achievement in Highway Safety. Clayton Fisk, Vice President of Risk Management, says safety says this award reflects the values they began over 50 years ago.
It instills a feeling of pride and accomplishment amongst the people associated with our company, and that would include all of our truck operators. We're one of the few remaining 100% independent contractor, owner-operator companies.
Kingsley Elementary students will be getting a special visit this morning from the Waterloo Blackhawks. The hockey players will teach the elementary students about responsibility and respect. U.S. Hockey League member Tim Harwood will also be at the assembly.
The Waverly School is receiving national attention for their academics. West Cedar Elementary was chosen by the Iowa Department of Education to be nominated as a Blue Ribbon School. This national award chooses winners based primarily on the Iowa Test of Basic Skills.
And Cedar Valley Today's Jesse Keelman is here for a first look at today's forecast.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're looking at another cold one today, Cedar Valley. Current temperatures are about -3 degrees, but with the wind chill, that feels like -10. We will see that climb just a little bit to about 6 degrees, and it'll hold there for most of the day. Overnight, we're looking at snow starting about 11 o'clock p.m. tonight and carrying through all through tomorrow morning and ending about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And we'll see temperatures rise to about 16 degrees tomorrow. So a little bit better, but really not a huge improvement, unfortunately.
Thanks, Jesse. And being a mother is a job in itself, but Wartburg alum Molly Smith wishes to be known as more than just a mom.
Molly wrote an open letter to CNN explaining her idea and is now receiving national attention. Molly joins us now on the phone. How are you doing today, Molly?
Good, thank you.
And first of all, can you kind of summarize the letter you wrote to CNN and why you wrote it?
Sure. It was actually an original blog post that I posted on my motherhood blog, and I saw CNN was asking for eye reports from parents of their parenting confessions. So I realized that really paralleled what I write about on my blog. So the article pretty much entails my realization a few months back that as parents, we not only wear multiple hats, but we have multiple identities. And the way that I view myself may not always be the way that people other than myself look at me. So it was a realization that I often see myself just as Molly, and a lot of people view me just as a mother.
So how did this get to CNN? What prompt did you send it there?
I did, yes. I've been blogging for a while, and I aspire to be a writer. And a couple of my writer friends had given me pointers on how to email editors. And so this was really my first pitch to anything, to any type of editor, and I was very excited to see that they took the worm that I put out there.
Do you feel that the world views you differently when you became a parent?
Absolutely, and I think that the world views any parent differently. Obviously I cannot speak for the fathers of the world, but I've received a lot of feedback from other mothers thanking me for that article and saying that they've felt the exact same way, but they've never had the courage to say it.
And so what kind of reaction have you received since your letter has been published?
Very positive. My sister, Ashley, has been keeping track of all the stats for me, and so far it's been shared from CNN on Facebook 6.8 thousand times, which I think pretty much speaks for itself. And then just emails that I've gotten and phone calls and messages from people that I don't know on Facebook have been really great, thanking me for writing that, and people who've reached out to me through my blog. Of course, you always get negative comments too, but I think if you're going to be a writer, you have to expect that you're not always going to please everyone. And, the nice thing is I wrote it from who I am and what I feel like, and I'm glad that people are reading it and are getting something out of it.
And thanks again for talking to us today, Molly.
Thank you.
And to see her letter, look for the full story on the Wartburg Circuit.
And coming up in 2 minutes, what you need to know in today's Top 5.
And hear from a local musical artist about his new song on iTunes. Stay with us.
The South and winter don't make a good combination. A rare ice storm hit the southern part of the U.S. on Tuesday. Atlanta got about 2.5 inches of snow, causing many people to leave work and school a bit early. Birmingham and other nearby cities have also seen similar weather conditions which have left thousands of commuters trapped on roadways. U.S. student Amanda Knox and her former boyfriend Raffaele Solocito are waiting for a verdict from an Italian court once again. The couple was convicted in 2010 for the murder of Meredith Kircher in November of 2007. Charges were overturned on appeal in 2011. Knox has already served 4 years of her 28.5 sentence. It is unlikely Knox will return to Italy to serve additional prison time. And an internet giant has made a multi-billion-dollar deal with the PC king. Google has decided to sell its smartphone business, Motorola Mobility, to Lenovo for $2.9 billion. While Google will retain ownership in most of its patents in this deal, this will allow Lenovo to get a new way into the market. This deal is still subject to regulatory approval. And a compromise was made by the House on Wednesday, a 5-year farm bill. The bill would end direct payments to farmers in favor of crop insurance. It would also cut $8 billion from the food stamp program and head off a potential spike in milk prices. The bill is expected to be taken up soon by the Senate. A Royal Caribbean cruise ship has returned to shore after being at sea for days with hundreds of sick passengers. It is still unsure what caused the illness, but the symptoms are consistent with norovirus. All passengers aboard the cruise ship have been told by the Royal Caribbean that they will receive a 50% refund as well as a 50% credit for a future cruise. This has been your Cedar Valley Today's Top 5. Back to you, Jackie.
Thanks, Ashley. Cedar Valley Today's Nicole Lyons looked into why college is worth the time and money.
Someone who holds a bachelor degree will make 65% more than someone with a high school diploma over a 40-year career. That comes out to be almost $1 million more. With the cost of college tuition rising and the average cost of a private school education at almost $29,000, people are often stuck wondering, is it even worth going to college and spending all that money?
Again, it comes back to the investment question. Do I want to invest in my future? You look at these 4 years of your life, and they are 4 years of a larger span of your lifetime.
Iowa has the 6th highest student debt rate in the nation, with 3/4 of those graduates carrying student debt. Allie Brown is the third year at Wartburg College in Waverly. She's already thinking about her future and her future debt.
There will be some debt, and I know it's going to take a very long time to pay off. I've called a lot of alumni with my job, and they've told me, 10, 15 years later, even after they graduated, they're still paying back debt little by little.
In 2013, bachelor degree holders unemployed fell to almost 4%, where the number of high school graduates unemployed fell to 7%.
I mean, we're still working through that recession period, so you really have to be able to sell yourself and articulate your experience. I'd say if you know that you're open to going anywhere regionally, you're going to have a lot more opportunities than if you're going to look at and concentrate on one particular area.
In his State of the Union address, President Obama reinforced his support of higher education. Back to you.
Thanks, Nicole. And coming up next, we have your full weekend forecast. See you in 2 minutes.
And welcome back to Cedar Valley Today. Current temperatures out there about -3 degrees, and with the wind chill, that's going to feel like -10. Rest of the day, not getting that much better, climbing up to about 6 degrees, with the wind chill still staying around about 0 degrees real feel. Overnight, we're looking at snow starting tonight at about 11 o'clock p.m., and they'll continue through all of tomorrow morning and taper off about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We're going to see about 2.5 inches of accumulation there. What does that mean for your weekend? Well, like I said, 18 degrees tomorrow, a little bit of snowfall through most of the day. Sunday, we're looking at 7 degrees and partially cloudy. Around the state then, we'll see 23 degrees here in Dubuque, Cedar Rapids at 22, 10 degrees in Waterloo, and 8 in Mason City, Des Moines at 17, and Sioux City and Council Bluffs at 18 and 22. See snowfall across the state there, about 4 inches in accumulation most places. Now looking across the country, 40 degrees in New York, 42 in Washington, D.C., 20 in Chicago. Miami's seeing about 79 degrees and 72 in Houston. They're both experiencing rainfall. Denver's at 37. Seattle's experiencing a little bit of fog today, 47 degrees there, and 67 with a little bit of rain in Los Angeles. Looking ahead then to your 5-day forecast, tomorrow still seeing that snowfall, a little bit chillier on Sunday, climbing up to about 18 degrees on Monday with a 6-degree overnight. Tuesday looking at some more scattered snow, -6 overnight, and Wednesday 4 degrees with -15 overnight after that.
So, still pretty cold.
Yeah, it's looking chilly, and it looks like it's going to be chilly for a little bit longer.
All right, thanks, Jesse. And following show cancellations last weekend due to light problems, Waterloo East High is ready to debut their musical, The Music Man.
Cedar Valley Today's Kelsey Bemis found out what it is that makes this show unlike most high school musicals.
The stage is set and the costumes ready for the curtain call of Waterloo East High's musical, Music Man.
Comedy, drama, a love story rolled around into one show.
The students have been preparing for weeks, and tonight they'll perform the second musical in 20 years for the school and the first to ever use middle schoolers.
They have really stepped up to the plate, working hard, wanting to make a good show, and wanting to really do well for themselves and also for the audience.
One of those students is Jabari Franklin, a 6th grade student who plays the character Winthrop.
The day after the audition, I woke up, my auntie called me in her room. She said that I got to the part for the play, and I was really happy, and it was like the best day of my life.
Jabari says he enjoys working with the high schoolers and learning more about theater.
They're a little bossy, but they're just trying to look out for us. And it's really fun to work with them because we aren't in high school yet. We're only in 6th grade.
Whether Winthrop or Harold Hill, middle schooler or high schooler, all involved are excited for the premiere of their show and for everyone to see their hard work pay off.
Really excited to bring The Music Man, 1910 River City, Iowa, to production here at Waterloo East High School.
Reporting for Cedar Valley Today, I'm Kelsey Bemis.
The show is tonight and tomorrow at 7:30 and Sunday at 3.
Tickets are $8 for adults, $5 for students, and free for children under 4.
And coming up next on Cedar Valley Today, Andrew Hoyt will be in the studio for our live concert series.
And up in sports, Wartburg Wrestling's all-time career leader in falls was back wrestling in his hometown last night. See if it was a happy homecoming for Fank and the Knights after the break.
Welcome back to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Seth Nutting. The men's team had 3 players record career highs in points during the double overtime thriller with Loris on Wednesday night, but would that be enough to push them over 500 in conference play? Eddie Deemer was a dominant force for the Knights early on, twice getting around Loris' Ryan Kuhn for the jam and the early 25-12 lead. In the second half, Taylor Jacobsmeyer would record 3 of his personal best 19 points seen here. Loris would make a late run, however, as Alex Klein and Mirko Gerchik both knocked down Trace for the Dewhawks. Loris would have the lead with under a minute to play in regulation, but Jordan Cannon would draw the foul and leave the game with an injury, but Eddie Deemer would hit both free throws, sending the game into overtime. In the second overtime, Klein came up big again, hitting the 3, giving the Dewhawks an 89-88 advantage. Then with the game on the line and Cannon back in, the freshman would drive once again to the lane, gets some hang time, and buries the shot. Loris' final shot would be just long as the Knights held on to the 90-89 victory. Wartburg is now 4-3 in conference and 10-8 overall. 2 big rivalries converged on Independence High School last night. Cedar Valley Today's Justin Zacconi tells us why the duels mattered the most to one set of brothers competing.
On Thursday night, Independence High School played host to 2 of the biggest wrestling rivalries in Iowa, Independence West Delaware and Wartburg Co. Wartburg 285-pound senior Ryan Fank is from Independence and came back to wrestle at his old stomping grounds for the first time since claiming the 2A state title in 2010. Fank still remembers the rivalry well and brings it up with fellow classmate and West Delaware alum Brent Yankovic.
Competed each other all throughout high school, and now we're teammates, roommates, and we always give each other smack, every now and then about it.
Even though Independence came back to beat West Delaware and claim the Highway 20 trophy, followed by a Wartburg win shortly after, what made the night special is that Ryan finally got to compete in the same gym as his little brother Kyle. Kyle is ranked number 3 in 185 in 2A, but that isn't as great as competing in the same place as his older brother.
I never got to wrestle with him on the same night, even in the same gym, so sharing that mat out there with him was pretty big.
Ryan missed out on watching Kyle compete because he pinned his man too fast. Independence head coach Michael Doyle says that both Fanks have an aggressive approach to wrestling. Maybe Kyle picked up a thing or two from Ryan. He considers him one of his best teachers of the sport.
I learned a lot. He's taught me a lot of things, and he's just been a good coach.
Next year, Kyle will follow in Ryan's footsteps and continue his wrestling career at Wartburg. After all, what better person to learn from than your older brother? Reporting for Cedar Valley Today, I'm Justin Zacconi.
To watch more highlights and view the final results from last night's duel, go to thewartburgcircuit.org. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Cedar Valley Today. He was recently recognized as an up-and-coming artist by Wartburg College and just debuted a song on iTunes.
With us now is singer-songwriter Andrew Hoyt. Thanks for joining us, Andrew.
Yeah, no problem.
So tell us, what was your inspiration behind your music?
I had friends in high school that loved to play ukulele, but I didn't really see them play it that much. And so we had a lot of friends over, and they had ukuleles on their couch. And so I was really interested in playing and learning, and their dad showed me how to play. And so I had an old one in my closet, and started jamming on that. Then I got a new one, then a newer one, which is this one. And I just love to play. I love to play ukulele. So, yeah.
And before we go, we'll enjoy an original song.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Whoa, 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 oh. Whoa, 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 oh. Sometimes we forget who we are. Just another spark in the sea of stars. We see that our dreams are so very far, but I know I'll keep on. You just to keep on wishing with someone you'd be kissing. If that's the point of living, why don't you start on moving? It's called love in a bottle. It's where you open your eyes to the hopes in your mind. It's called love in a bottle. It's where you open your eyes to the hopes in your mind. And take it easy.